This is AP Calculus Self-Check 5.4 Solutions. Let's go through this. I'm going to be using Taxman for all problems that need U substitution, just to get us ready with Taxman. Alright, so let's look at this one. It looks like we might need to use Taxman because if I take the derivative of this inner, then I'll get something that isn't 1, but that's not the case. You can just drop the parentheses and apply this integral to both of these terms individually. So if I take the antiderivative of x cubed, that's going to be x to the power of 4, and then divide down 1/4, and minus 3x is going to be a minus 3x squared, divide down, divide by 2, and don't forget your plus c. Which of these looks like that's the case? Looks like it's E. Yep, that's right. Okay. And moving on to number 2. So this one, I definitely need to use Taxman. So what house are we in? That's a tricky question. So if you ever see an E, you should automatically assume that you're an E house. So if we're an E house, that means our U is up here. And what's du? Du is definitely not 1. It's like 2x plus 2 or something like that. So that means that we need to do U substitution or Taxman. I'm going to use Taxman like I said at the very beginning. So our U, we'll need that. We need a Taxman. And we need our du. So if our U, or for our U, it's going to be x squared plus 2x, x squared plus 2x, and that's because we're an E house. So the Taxman is whatever's in front of this E, which is everything right here. 2x plus 2 is the Taxman. It's multiple terms, all in parentheses. 2x plus 2. It's whatever is in front of the house that we're talking about. Remember, the Taxman knocks on the front door of the house. All right, du. So the derivative of u is 2x plus 2. Oh, look, that works out pretty nice. When I turn this into a fraction, that turns into 1. So when I pay the Taxman, this all gets turned into 1. So this is going to be the integral from 0 to 1 of 1 e to the power of u. And I guess you can have a dx there if you want. Perfect. Now we are going to take the antiderivative of e to the power of u, which is just e to the power of u. So this turns into e to the power of u plus, not plus c, it's going to be evaluated between 0 and 1. And again, 0 and 1 are x's, and we have a u here, so let's turn this into e to the power of u was x squared plus 2x, x squared plus 2x. Now that's evaluated between 0 and 1. Alright, let's sub these in. When I plug in 1, I get 1 squared, which is 1, plus 2 times 1, which is 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3, e to the power of 3. Okay, now when I plug in 0, what do I get? When I plug in 0, it's going to be 0 plus 0, so it's e to the power of 0. E to the power of 0. Alright, and anything to the power of 0 is 1, so e to the power of 0 is 1. Correct answer is D. Moving on to number 3. The integral of sine. Okay, so for trig functions, the u is whatever's in the parentheses, du is 2, therefore we're using u substitution or Taxman. Let's do Taxman. So we have u, we have Taxman, and we have du. So u is 2x plus 3. Taxman is whatever's in front. There doesn't seem to be anything there, so he's an invisible 1. And du, the derivative of this is 2. So our fraction is going to be a half. That's what we're going to pay the Taxman with. This now turns into the integral of a half. We just paid the Taxman of sine of u. Okay, antiderivative. Here we go. So the half is going to stay there, so we can get rid of that now. And now we have to figure out if it's positive or negative cosine. We know it's going to be some sort of cosine here, but is there a negative here or not? So this is the anti-same. Anti-same means change. We need to change this by making it a negative. And it's going to be cosine of u. I'm just going to not write the u. I'm going to say it's 2x plus 3 now. 2x plus 3. And don't forget your plus c. All right, where is our answer? It looks to be C, and that's the correct answer. And moving on to our last problem, number 4. All right, so trig function, so u is a 3x, du is 3, not 1. So we're using Taxman or we're using u substitution. So I'm going to use Taxman, so we need a u, we need a Taxman, and we need our du. All right, so our u is 3x, Our taxman, there's nothing there, so he's a 1, and our du, derivative of this, is 3. So we're going to pay the taxman with a third. So this is now going to become the integral from 0 to pi over 3 of a third of cosine u dx. Alright, so I'm ready to take the antiderivative now. So taking that, I have 1/3, and cosine is going to turn into sine. Is it going to be a different sign or the same sign? So anti-change means the same. So same sign, don't worry about changing it. And I'm going to have my u. I'm just going to get rid of my u right now. My u was 3x. And that's going to be evaluated between 0 and pi over 3. Alright, so subbing in pi over 3, we have 3 times pi over 3. Those 3's are going to cancel out, and it's sine of pi. Sine of pi, do we remember where pi is, or what sine of pi is? So this is 0, this is pi over 2, and this is pi. So we're right here. And we're talking about sine, so is that the x or the y? Yeah, that's the y. So how much up and down am I moving? 0. So this is going to be 0 times a third, which is 0. Alright, and that's going to be subtracting whatever happens when I plug in 0. So when I plug in 0, it's going to be sine of 0, and that means I'm right here. Sine means I'm in the y-coordinate. How much up and down am I moving at this point? 0. So 0 times a third, and I get 0, so the correct answer here is C. Alright, that concludes Self-Check 5.4. Remember that we have the pre-test coming up tomorrow, so be ready for that. Study hard, do groups, go over all these self-checks again. I will see you guys tomorrow.